Well, if you step out of line, right? So the ideology is that we must support Ukraine.
Right.
So this is Russia has a point. This is what they're saying. So Russia was very upset about the movement of the weapons closer to their borders, the joining NATO, all the stuff that was the hard red lines that Putin had already set. Like if Russia would definitely do something if Ukraine joined NATO. We all knew that. So if you deviate from that, you're going to be in trouble. So better just ignore it. Because you can't, you clearly, if you look at who these people are, I mean, these are people that would be supported by the left wholeheartedly.
Well, they are. I mean, it's like the revolutionary socialist movement. They're not at CPAC this year.
But the left has to ignore it because then
100%.
It conflicts with this
the
other
categories
part of
right
the
and
ideology.
left are just like, now they're actually ridiculous.
They're
ridiculous. They don't mean anything.
Ridiculous.
In fact, we've moved past the point where they don't mean anything. They do mean something. They are propaganda instruments designed to cloak the truth from the rest of us, that in fact there's agreement, not disagreement, at the center of power. They all agree on the things that matter, and those are the economy and foreign policy, because that's where the money is. There's no effort to, say, rein in the credit card companies, which if you really cared about the country, you'd say, but people are really suffering. Okay, they don't have enough money to live. Kids can't not only not buy houses, they can't afford rent. And why is that? And one of the main reasons is because they're paying like close to 20% interest on their credit cards. And okay, we just imagine that in a free market, that's a good thing. Tell me why that's a good thing. Who benefits from that? Why are we for that again? I'm not for that. I think the credit card companies are villains, and they send credit cards to kids at school and get them hooked on this. I think it's totally wrong. And if you said that in the U.S. Congress, people would look at you like you had three heads. Like, what? They just don't care because they all agree that our current economic system and our current foreign policy assumptions are good. So that's not a two-party system. That's a one-party system, and it doesn't serve the interest of the country. And my position is super simple. The only country I have an emotional attachment to is the United States. That's it. I like lots of countries. I like almost all countries, actually. I've been to a lot of them. I like them all. But the only one I feel emotional about is the United States because I live here. I was born here. My kids are here. It's my country. And most of the people in our foreign policy conversation do not feel that way. So that distorts it really dramatically. And they're also, a lot of them are violence worshipers. Like they get off on war. They get off on hurting people and on the power that imbues them with. And I think, the Liz Cheney model, you know what I mean? Like someone like Liz Cheney who's got like a really sad and barren personal life. A lot of them are this way, weird personal life, failed personal life. Like they don't have people who love them. They don't have kids who respect them. And so Adam Kinzinger or whatever, they're all kind of the same. The more broken they are inside, the more focused they are on like war and foreign policy because it gives them a feeling of power and strength and success. Like I can't get my wife to respect me. I can't get my kids to listen to me. I can't pass any meaningful domestic agenda. But what I can do is bomb the living shit out of a foreign country. And there is this, it's not true for all of them, but for a lot of them, there is this syndrome that drives their behavior. But whatever the reason, it's totally disconnected from what's good for the country. And if you run America, you have one job, and that's improve America, period. They don't see it that way. And so I don't think the system can continue because it's too distorted. It's not serving its original purpose at all.
So what was it that these guys said that made this raid possible?
They said Russia, and I don't want to speak for them. Like I interview anyone who wants to see it can interview. And I just want to say again, like one of the cool things about this moment that I did not anticipate, there's all this sad stuff happening. I know that you probably experience this all the time, is like finding not only common ground with people you thought you had nothing in common with at all, but also like liking them. Like I actually liked the guy. I'm sure we disagree on a million things. Probably mad at white people. I am a white person, whatever. But like in my conversation, I was like, I like this guy. He's honest and he's sincere. He's principled. He was a veteran, but whatever. No, I really think what they said was what I have said and a lot of people have said. which is there was a reason for this invasion. I personally think the invasion was a bad idea. It didn't help anybody. I'm against war. I'm sad the war's ongoing. But they were pushed to this by a more powerful country, which would be the United States of America, with the threat of including Ukraine in NATO. It's really simple. And right before the invasion, days before the invasion, they send poor Kamala Harris, who has no idea what day it is, to the Munich Security Conference, an area she knows nothing about, no experience in it at all. And they send her there for one purpose, which is to announce at a press briefing, with all the cameras rolling, to Zelensky, right there, she says, "We want you to join NATO." What? No other NATO members were clamoring for Ukraine. It didn't even qualify for NATO membership. Why would you say that? When Putin's got troops massed on the Ukrainian border, you send your vice president to the Munich Security Conference with the world watching and say this that no one even really wants? Why would you do that? To provoke war. Obviously. What's the other reason? And it was scripted. Like, Kamala Harris is not freeballing stuff. Like, she's saying what she's told to say. Obviously. It's not her area. She doesn't know anything about this stuff. She was told to say that. But why? To provoke a war. Obviously. So that was my read. I said that on Fox News. Not a lot of people liked it, but it just seemed obvious to me. I'm not making excuses for Putin. Please. I want to protect the United States, and I think this war really hurts the United States. Like, my motives are always right out there. Anyway, I think they said a species of that, something like that. And the last thing I'll say is that why was the reaction so strong? Because it was true. They don't care if you lie. No one in power cares if you lie.
But a lot of people
they only care when you tell the truth.
A lot of people are saying those things, and they're not getting arrested.
Because he's like some black nationalist guy in St. Petersburg. Like, who cares? Who's going to defend him? Nobody. He's some wacko. He's some like 80-year-old guy who's like been in the like fringe left movement for the past 50 years. You know, like new Huey Newton and Stokely Carmichael. He's like a relic of the past, and like he doesn't have a constituency. He doesn't care. The modern Democratic Party hates him. He hates them. And the Republican Party is like, black nationalism? No thanks. So he has no constituency. They're never going to, like, you could say that, and what are they going to do to you? You know, nothing, because they can't. But this guy, yeah, crush him, kill him. And that's exactly what they're doing. And I really think, not to be like a 70s liberal about it, if you let the weak get crushed, it's bad. It's super bad. You need to protect the weak. And this guy's weak.